Good morning or good evening, wherever you may be. My name is Kevin from my personal big color, and today we want to do what is called a bone and pork loin. Alright? I'm going to show you how to merchandise the bone and pork loin. And I did a video with it before. You can watch that one and see how we get the steaks. But this one, we're going to do how to get the country style ribs off the end, how you get the sirloin roast off the front, and then your center cut steaks. So, alright, now let me move you around a little bit. So, let's see what this bone and pork loin look like. Alright, this is the back. Always open it from the back side up. The back of your knife, so I'm going to cut into the meat. Alright, let's see the side. Now, years ago, they would take this and cut it right down the middle, in the bag, everything right to the side. That'll be ready to go. Alright. This is the bone and pork. They come in 2 packs. This is one. Alright? This is what it looks like. They have a little weight to them. Now this is your sirloin end. Remember how I told you the sirloin had a little eye right there? Well, this is that bone around that sirloin end. You can see your sirloin. Look back at my bone with sirloin tips. You will see it. And this is the rib end. Where you see, this is that bone and rib steak that a lot of people like. Rib chop, bone and rib chop. I can show you one on the next one, but this one we're going to be country style. And what I'm going to show you is how to chop this bone so when it lay in your tray, you'll see it. Alright, so let's get you started. Gotta move you around a little bit, so put you back here so you can see. Alright, first you want to cut the roast off so that way you can control the meat. So when you cut your sirloin roast, you will see right here it's a groove. Right here is where your roast stopped at and your center cut chop started. So when you cut your roast, you just cut straight across there. This is how your roast come out. It's gonna look like this. You'll see right here is where the center cut starts at pork chops. Now with your roast, what you do is take your knife and you see all this old meat, take your knife, it's a bone right here. So take your knife, go around that little bone, come straight down. Now that, if you was grinding, would be ground pork. Now you see your sirloin. That's your sirloin. You know what I mean? If you look at when you get the boneless one, you see your eye. There was your sirloin. All right, now you see it won't sit in the tray like this. Now the trick for it to get in the tray, take the saw, and you see this little bone right here. You cut that little bone off. And then there you go, bam, it'll sit perfect in the tray. If you can see, let me get a tray. And that's how your bone and sirloin look. You cut that fat off, of course. This little piece of fat right here, you're gonna trim that down. Right, and that's your bone and sirloin. Roast. That's the first piece you get off your loin. Now the second piece would be your country styles. Off the rib end. Now, go to the rib end. You want to move your blade down about 1 inch thick. That's how I keep them. That way you can get a good cut on them. Now the first part, you just want to clean it off. That's how it's going to look. So, 1 inch thicker. 1 inch straight. 3, 4, 5, and we'll get about 6. That's where the ribbon stop at. You'll see where this little thing right here is starting to get small. This is where your ribbon stop at, and your center cut loin chops start at. Well, your loin chops. This is where your loin chops start at. So, this is what I got off of that. And I started right here on this end, and it came back to this end. Now, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take the saw and this bone, I'm going to cut that bone off. Open it up. Now, if you was a store and you sold with a lot of neck bones, you would just take these little pieces and throw them into your neck bone tray. So you don't throw it away, that's your neck bones. Now, the reason why I did that, the reason why I cut them in half, is so when I open them up, they lay evenly in the tray. So now I'm going to take these with my knife and split them in half. And when you open it up, you got country style ribs. Let me put it in the tray and show you. Cut them right down the middle. Open them up. And that's how your country style ribs run. There you go. That's your country style ribs. Family pack, of course. I'm trying to hold on so you'll see. Alright. Get a nice amount of them. Alright. That's what makes your ribs look nice and pretty. And they laying flat down in the tray. Now, what you have left is what you call the centerpiece. Alright, you got your center cut chops. I'm going to try and clean some of this fat off. Remember, I trim, but you don't trim until you cut your steak. Now here's your centerpiece, and this is where your center cut chops come from and your loin end chops come from. Now you want to chime this bone right here. This bone right here, you want to chime that to make your steak, your pork chops look good. So hold it like this. That's how you chime that bone off there. That way this bone is nice and clean and what's coming. Now, it's the only thing I really throw away. Now, I want to clean this piece up too because I want my chops to look good. See these bones right here? So I nip them. Just a little nip. Just a little nip to clean them up. Then however I want my chops. that. And let me take you to these chops. Now this is the piece. What you'll get is, up front, you got what you call your center cut chops with the little tenderloin on it. These are your center cuts. And as you go down into the loin, they'll start to turn to chops like this. These are called your loin end chops. You know? So make sure they're always even and consistent when you cut them. And then when you tray them up, however your store like traying them up, scrape both sides, put them in a tray, and that's how you cut a bone-in pork loin. Now, if I wasn't cutting country styles, I would be cutting sirloin chops and ribbon chops. Where I took the roast would be the sirloin chops. Where I did the country style from would be the ribbon chops. And I would just cut this thing straight through. So that's how you do bone-in pork. Just right here. Bone-in pork. So get on the side, you start doing pork loin, you know what to do. And that's how you become my personal meat cutter. Join the team. Subscribe to the channel and see how we cut everything. My personal meat cutter. Thanks for watching.